All right, man. Wow. Okay, I'm live again. Thank God. I was feeling it right here. I was feeling it. Hey, I got a thumbs up and nobody's here. That's some popularity when you get a thumbs up and nobody's there. Okay, well, three people are here. Thank you. All right, everybody join. This is my hope. Need people when I'm live because you know why? Because everybody shows up and says, "Man, I missed your live, man. I want to be there when the chat's happening." I couldn't really get it out in time. Again, it was like a last minute. Thank you, Deborah. It was a last minute call as it normally is. I was just like, screw it, man. Might as well go live. All right, four people are here. Thank you all. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So the bottom line here is that Delphi, Carroll County law enforcement may be bringing in CC more, and if they do, I mean, he said that is what I want. I mean, and I think pretty much across the board, that's what everybody wants is this guy arrested. It's been way too long. This guy's a monster. He shouldn't be on the street. He should not be free. He should be in prison fighting for his life daily for the rest of his life. If not, and I hate to say it, but I know how the world is. They won't hit him with like capital punishment. They won't. No. Too much show and that, they don't want to go that route anymore. Now, if we take it back 100 years ago, man, that was the policy. That was the policy. Hey, man, you killed somebody. You've been found guilty. Tomorrow at noon, you will hang by your neck until dead in the county square. Why don't we have that? That would be a good way to go. If somebody's convicted beyond all reasonable doubt, hang them. Hang them right there. It don't cost a dime to string up a rope and they're over. That's what I want. I would like to see the fear in his eyes. Hey, B, when he's facing death and going to court, because when he goes to court in Carroll County, because I know it will not be in Carroll County, they'll move it because that is what they do for their own safety. They got to move him to another county because, look, I'll tell you right now, with Amber Green, man, if they put that guy in Carroll County jail, there's going to be a hoopla. There's going to be a riot. There's going to be people wanting to fuck into hanging. I'll tell you that right now. When Ronald Logan was in Carroll County jail, when they arrested him on the DUI probation violation, he's in jail. And they moved him to the county south of here for his own protection. He wasn't even in population. Okay. So I can tell you right now, they will not put that monster in Carroll County jail. They will not hold him there, and probably nor will they take him to court there because everybody in that county knows about it. Everybody. There would be no one that they could get in Carroll County who said, "Wow, really? 2 girls were murdered? I didn't hear about that. I keep up on the news, but I didn't hear about it, man." Can't happen, man. You'd probably have to go out of the surrounding, the radius of the surrounding counties. Hell, you might not have to take it out of state for that matter, because everybody has heard about this case. They heard about it because it was a bad crime, and one that should never happen in Carroll County. First of its kind, and a year or so, over a year and a half later, the guy's still free, no arrest. Speak to me, law enforcement, because you know what? I have Cece's number. Give her a call. Cece, how you doing? Are you solving the case, girl? You are. All right. Dinner at my house or yours. So has anybody got anything on the Delphi case? Anything that somebody wanted to bring up while we're on this subject matter? Because, it's my thought, totally. And I could be wrong, but I doubt it. But I don't think that there's been a question that anyone's asked. That was a good, legitimate question that didn't happen through my mind way over a year ago. I've heard every question. I've heard every theory. I've heard it all. I've heard the crazies. I've heard the wackos. I've heard it all. If you think you've heard a lot of it, this cat right here, I'm hearing it. So, yeah. Anyway, so that's why, and it doesn't bother me to talk about the Delphi case. But the thing is that, yeah, and you know what? I already knew, Christy. I'm fluent in typoes. Totally. Didn't even have to take lessons. But, you know, there just is no good question, you know, and anything that somebody would ask me that I don't know, it's been answered. I can't tell you that. It's not in evidence. It's not for me to see. I've never seen it. There is no way to know. How did the girls die? Nobody knows. And that's for a good reason. They don't want people to know how the girls died because here's the thing. You get a lot of people that come in and make a phony confession. Now, if they know how the girls died, they could go in and say, well, this is what I did. This is where I took them. And this is how I did it. And they don't want that. And no, nor do I, because I don't want some nut being arrested for it. I want the perpetrator arrested, and I want him hanging by his sack. So hands together, you know, give us the death penalty. Hey, thanks for being here, Tony. I'm glad you could make it. So that is what I want, is that for that monster. He deserves every penny of it, every last bit of it. And that is what I want. Now, when he does go to court, I'm wearing my Pink Floyd shirt. You know, I'm a big Floyd fan. So anyway, that's really all that I can give you on Delphi. You know, the people out there, and if you are or don't feel that you are on top of like what's happened, you can look it up. It's all right there online. Don't go to YouTube videos. Don't do that, you know, because a lot of people spell out a lot of crap on YouTube, and I don't even need to give names, but there's a ton of it out there. Now, if you go to Facebook, that's another one. Don't go to Facebook. It's making a shit sandwich when you go to Facebook looking for information. You don't get information from Facebook. If it can't be corroborated, man, by like good legitimate evidence, then it is what it is. It's a shit sandwich. Know that. Know that right now. So when are me and Greeno going to do another video? Unknown. We will in due time. It's always one of those things when he gets over here and we got the time, we make a video. But normally the way that goes down when him and I make a video is that one of us have an idea for a video and we go out and start shooting it. You know, I like the way that Greeno videos it. Oh, is it your birthday, Tony? Is it? You can tell me. I won't tell anybody, promise. But anyway, man, you know, he shoots the video. We get it back, you know, we edit that, and he does a great job editing. The only downside to that on WKET is that he will spend like a week editing one video. So it's not very timely when we get a video out. But as you all know, the videos on WKET are phenomenal. They really are, man. And I take a lot of pride in them being that good. So, you know, Greeno, he don't mind sitting there editing for a week, man. I get pissed off in about 20 minutes and I'm like, yeah, you know what? It works just the way it is. And it's out there. I can edit. I just don't enjoy it, man. He does. He enjoys, man. He'll edit every little second to it and all that. And I'm happy he enjoys it, you know, because it really does make great videos. But again, we don't get a bunch of them out at one time. So it is your birthday, right? Is it, Tony? Is it your birthday? Huh? Yay or nay? All right. Happy birthday, Tony. It is Tony's birthday. Everybody give her a happy birthday. Maybe a round of applause. It's not my birthday yet, but it is forthcoming, as it always is. It never seems like it's right after my birthday. It's always pushing toward it. It's kind of the crap. It's like the older you get, the faster a year goes. When I was little, a year was an eternity. Now it's like, oh, that's next year. Can't wait. Wow, they'll be here in a couple days. Yeah, Deborah, I'm glad you made it, JoJo. The thing is like somebody saying on the other side of Freedom Bridge. That is, and I can tell you that that is where two of the people that walked there went. Cheyenne parked there, as did Flannel Shirt Guy. There was no car spotted there. Now remember, it was in February. The woods on the other side of that right there are very slender. I mean, you can see right into them in the winter when there's no leaves on. And again, the guy had been there numerous times because we know that he knew the area. We know he went there. We know he was accustomed to how that place was laid out. So, being the fact that law enforcement never once mentioned a car, they never said if you've seen a car, if you've seen a car back in the woods, if you've seen any unknown car, they never said that. And I am clearly on the side, as I discussed with Sheriff Lesenby. I said no car was ever mentioned. Yeah, we never mentioned no car. Yeah, because I don't think that they ever found a car. I don't think that they found tracks of a car that was hidden. Because if they did, they would have said, did anybody see a vehicle leaving here at approximately this time on February the 13th? Was never mentioned. Yes, there was those two people, Cheyenne and the flannel shirt guy, both parked there when they came in. And flannel shirt guy, when walking back down to the high bridge, the railroad bridge, seen him walking back toward Freedom Bridge. So we know that that was his direction of travel, was back toward Freedom Bridge, was not seen after that. Not down the highway, not on a county road, not in town. Nobody seen him once he got to the bridge. No one. And there was no car. If law enforcement, CSI, FBI, if they had found anything that a car had been there, they would have been asking about a car. Did you see a vehicle in or around here at this time? They would have put that out publicly because they would want to know that car, the make and model of that car. That would have helped them track it down very quick. CC Moore does familial DNA. That's family DNA. Now, what they do is they put that into a computer. And the way it works is if you go to an ancestry site, as an example, you can send them your DNA with your last name. Okay. Now, they trace that DNA because the computer will scan back those traits, male to male. Okay. Or if it's on the female, it may go female DNA, the mitochondrial DNA. I'm guessing. I mean, I took genetics, but I'm not that familiar with familial DNA. But I know how it works if they put it into a database. They're looking for an exact match. In this one, they're tracing back the family traits, male to male, especially in this one, right on back. They find that family line and they trace that right on down to it's this family would be one of these people right here, probably the male siblings out of that family. Easy to do after that, same as they did in Fort Wayne. They go to those people's trash, they get out something that would contain their DNA, and then they scan that against what they already have. If it's them, just like in Fort Wayne, bam, John D. Miller is arrested. In this case, bam, we got a monster sitting in Carroll County Jail. It's my hope. I am vaping today, coming up on 2 months without a cigarette. Voluntary. Never smoked one. Don't even want one. Got my nicotine right in the palm of my hand. I don't know how long her process takes. I really don't. I would think a guesstimate. Once they put that into a computer and can draw that line down, it's very short after that. Because once they find that family right down to this locale, or even if it's elsewhere, because it doesn't really matter its location, then they can start pinpointing, okay, it goes down into here to this family here, and it would be one of these siblings that were male. Now they can look at that and say, okay, well, there was 3 brothers there. Well, then all they got to do is go to their garbage of each residence, check their DNA, against what they're holding, and make that connection, same as they did in Fort Wayne with John D. Miller. The hope I have. Because you know what? 2 years is too long. 2 years is way too long. I want this guy's head on a platter. And if I knew who it was, there wouldn't be no need in worrying about it, because I would deal with it accordingly. Way accordingly. Way accordingly. I would give him everything that he has coming, plus, plus, plus. And when they got him, I don't even know. Maybe he would just have to spend the rest of his crippled ass life in prison. He would be neutered with a hammer. But that's me. Okay, anybody out there with anything that they want to make mention to? I want to try to keep this at an hour. And you know what? I don't mind doing live, but here's the thing. If I set up with the camera where I'm just running live, where I'm just taping myself, it's easy. When I'm waiting for someone to type a question, then it's like me killing time. I feel very uncomfortable with that. I kind of doubt that, Deborah. I think that this is a local guy, you know, and I don't think that he went down to Florida and committed anything there. If FL is Florida, and I think that it is. But a lot of people get a hold of me and they say, I don't think this is his first one. I think he's a serial killer. There is no evidence on that. Absolutely none. There are no local crimes like this anywhere in a large vicinity. I think the guy's local. I think the fact that he knew the property that as well as he did really points that he headed back to Delphi, no car. Okay, what? Remember the FL shooter? Okay. After he was arrested, some said they thought he looked like the guy on video. Yet no one made the call. Makes me wonder if the same is happening in Thanks 5. I don't know. I don't know, but I don't think it's the same guy. I mean, unless he moved down there and started doing it, but after he was arrested, when they kind of know, would be my thought, but I don't know that. All right, 16 people. Man, we're pushing toward 20. It is. And I hope that the guy is still somewhat local, because when they go to arrest him, and you know what? John D. Miller, he was like right there in Grable, just right outside of Fort Wayne, had never moved. And probably after 30 years fell in the clear. But then again, he knew they had his DNA. I mean, he was definitely aware of that, because look, man, he put used condoms in the mailbox with letters. So that was kind of before they brought the DNA into, you know, the legal like they have. But at the same time, he was handing them straight DNA. You know, you're probably Central Time, Christy, because here it's 5:33. I'm vaping though. An hour ago. I can cloud a room. I enjoy it some. And I'm sorry. So, anywho, that's about the extent, again, that I really have on Delphi. I mean, unless it's the familial DNA, but again, I mean, there's only X amount that I know about that. I took some genetics over a few years, was very interested in it. And I have questioned in the far past why they couldn't do that. But I think even at that time, they already were. You know, they already had thought about that, because if I think about something, it was probably in the process a few years before that. But the thing is that if you have the family DNA out there, that seems like it would be a direct method to trace that down. Now, if you got that in the legal database where you can check directly for that DNA, then that's different, because you got to have DNA. You had to have been arrested in the past and had your DNA taken to go into that database. In the familial DNA, it don't work like that. This is where people send it in voluntary, okay? But the thing is, when they send that in voluntarily, then that's for their family lineage. They want to know where that goes back to. But at the same time, if you could put that into that and then find that same line of traits going down, then you can narrow it down just like CC did up there in Fort Wayne. So, but now, I hate to say it, because I had said, and this is back on my old channel, I had said that it probably comes down to DNA for the reason that they're not solving it, because they want to make something a new law. Like, oh, if you voluntarily gave us your DNA to go into a family thing, well, now that's open for us to check too. Yay. And then that way, nobody's out of the picture. Thing is just like me, I don't want them to have my DNA. I don't want them to have my DNA. And what if they frame me? I mean, what's my defense? I go in and I say, well, the expert says it's mine. What, do I just have to agree that they're an expert and they know? I mean, no one can look at DNA and say, well, yeah, it belongs to him. No doubt about it. That's his DNA. Nobody can do that. They bring in an expert to say, yeah, 99.999% positive. That's him. Well, what if I was being framed and they just had this expert to come in and say that? I mean, who would question that? Nobody. No one would question that. Who in the hell is a fucking DNA expert? No one. So they're not getting my DNA, period. They can steal my DNA, but they're not going to get it legitimately from me. Yeah, and you know what? People are getting caught like that. I give it to them. But let me tell you about how they program society. You see, they do it by, hey, the Golden State Killer is gone. Hey, up here in Fort Wayne, the rapist and killer of April Tinsley, he's caught. Yay, over here in Delphi, my hope, they nail him. But the thing is then everybody's clearly going to be on the side of, yeah, we do need to use familial DNA. Yeah, screw the people who send in voluntarily, man. We need that, And that's the lowdown, because it's always changing the laws against us. Now, I'm not saying that we're murderers or rapists or anything, but it's quite clear that they will use your DNA no matter how you hand it over to them against you. And I'm not about that. The simple fact is they have a ton of evidence, and they have since the very beginning. And I've questioned, how can you have that much evidence and not arrest somebody? Something is clearly up when you have the FBI, the state of Indiana, and local and surrounding counties in on this in the investigation. 35,000 tips, apparently all wrong. What's the holdup? I mean, was we waiting for CC to come in and solve it so everybody can hop on the yay familial DNA? Let's arrest everybody. And probably that is the fact. I brought that up in an older video, and Gray Hughes, who I'd like to thank, because I am going to start using the OBS editing for live, so I can drop pictures behind me live. Bam, there you go. Can't wait for that. I just set it up today, but I haven't got it going. I just wanted to run straight live. So anyway, when they go do that, then it's, yeah, exactly, to get CC's method legalized. But here's the thing. The people that sent their DNA in didn't do that for anything illegal. They didn't want their DNA in a legal database by any means. They wanted to trace their family back. So what about them? Are their thoughts on it overrode because, hey, we got 3 killers. Look at us. We're using this other database. Yeah, and it probably is, because they want to make that new law. We'll use your DNA and fuck you. And if you go to court, we'll bring in an expert to say it's you, and you'll just go, well, it must be me. I guess I did that. I don't know. They can frame anybody that they want, and they'll do it by whatever means they like. Firstly, they got to get it changed to law. This is how you do it. This is how you solve the case with those methods. The FBI couldn't do it. The state of Indiana and surrounding counties, they couldn't do it either, but CC Moore did. So now your DNA is in a legal database, and fuck you. Because you know what? every single one of those people, for the most part, and I'm not saying absolutely every single one that sent their DNA into a ancestry website, did not do that for legal means. They don't want their DNA in a fucking legal database. It's like, why are you checking it against mine? What in the fuck did I do? Nothing. But it's how they changed the law on us. Don't even get me started on having the most laws of any country on earth. I don't even want to fucking go there. We are slaves, and this is how they changed the law so that everybody's in agreement. Well, it is for our own good. You know what's for our own good? Freedom. Remember when that was taken away? I don't either, because it was before I was born. But I sure would like to have common law freedom back. A sovereign king would I be, living my life the way that I want, with a big fat fuck you to the government and the legal system. If I didn't kill anybody or hurt their property, you need to go stick a dick in it. Thank you, and thank you. Because that's the real lowdown. Investigation is the way to catch people. It is. If it's outside of those lines, bring in the legal database, because those people are already hit. Check against it. I mean, it shouldn't even be like a last resort. If you have DNA, run it. But the simple fact is when you start touching family DNA, well, that stuff's a little outside the line. But now 3 people caught through that. This I'll tell you right now. The legal database of DNA is far larger than the database of familial DNA sent to ancestry websites. It is much larger. It is much larger for all the right reasons, that these people committed violent crimes, violent sexual crimes, and they took their DNA when they was in prison. But the fact is that these people that sent their DNA in for ancestry didn't do anything, you know? And the only thing that they're using it for is to trace that down to someone, which I understand that they can do that. And it seems right. It seems right. But the thing is that all these people, they didn't sign on to that. So apparently we just give them the big fat screw you and we'll do it anyway. Later on, Christy. Well, Randy thinks it might be getting closer. Well, if they bring in CC, it's a whole hell of a lot closer. If Randy needs a break from Delphi. Has he been talking at all about Delphi? I mean, every time I turn his website on, it's just like, oh, crap. It goes back off. And nothing against Randy, man. Randy's a great guy, man. I like the guy. But it's just, he's so tabloid, man, about his website. He'll bring anybody on there for views, which that don't hurt me. I told Greeno 1,000,000 times over, man. I said, you know what, man, your job, man, you want to make $1 million, go total tabloid, because, you know, he's really about the show. And, you know, he don't mind. He does not mind. Somebody will get on there with some stupid made picture, man, saying, yeah, look right here, there's the killer, and you can see what in. He'll get on there and go there and take to send back to him. And I'm like, dude, why are you trying to explain to stupid ignorance anything worth a fuck? If they got a question like that, seriously, honestly, they really need to go elsewhere, because they will not get an answer on my website, and they'd be damn lucky if I didn't ban their ass. I don't cotton to stupidity at all. You want to make $1 million? Cotton to stupidity. You know what? People are ready to eat that shit up in a heartbeat. They love it. Well, the chat box is gone again. I must apologize. Let's see. What's else in the news? Kavanaugh. Anybody got anything to say on Kavanaugh? You know, Supreme Court nominee. Is he gone? You know, will the people with less than 100 IQ hold it back? Will they stop it and get back in power to destroy the nation? Yeah, probably. That's the way I always see it happening. Randy thinks that Bridge Guy might be watching him. I don't know why. He's certainly steering people clear of his ass. I mean, I've never seen anything come off of Randy's channel that had anything to do with BG. Not in any real light, of course. Now, if it was me, I mean, I damn sure don't think that he would come after me, because I'm not holding any evidence that would nail him. I'm just telling people what I see, what I see. And what I see is what the law enforcement is looking at or had looked at, because they could go out, they could investigate some stuff and say, yeah, you know what, that's a no bueno. But I cannot. So when I see something, I will remark that this is what I'm seeing right here. And this is what I know. This, we went out there. I can tell you this, this, and this, but I can't solve it. There is no way to solve it. You know, it's not a 10-minute mystery. Oh man, I seen it and you retracted. If Bridge Guy had a car, JoJo, and I don't think that he did, for all the obvious reasons. Because if he had a car, law enforcement would have mentioned it. There it is, in a nutshell, in a small nutshell, but that is what I'm looking at. No witness reported it, but even though a witness didn't report it, you had the CSI there. They looked over the whole area. I ain't talking about right there at the crime scene. I'm talking the whole area, wide span, even outside of the park area, because they was looking for any place where a guy would have parked. They wanted to know his method in and his way out. And I think that they came to that conclusion that the guy had walked in and walked back out, heading toward Delphi, unseen. Now, when you look at cameras and all this, you would say, well, how could he be unseen? He knew how to get in and back out. What did Randy do? I don't even know if that's to me. Nothing on Kavanaugh. Nobody wants to talk Kavanaugh? The guy that always looks like he's frowning with a smile. He seems like a good guy to me. I think it's just all hoopla. I really do. I think it's Democrats holding it back. They don't want a guy in there who might say, hey, man, the Constitution says Second Amendment shall not be infringed. Fuck you. They're like, no, we need more mass shootings. We need a lot more shootings, and we'll take guns away from everybody. That's how you fucking take over. You got to disarm the public, because if you piss off the public and they have guns, they'll come and kill your ass. Ta-da! That's what we need. We need the ignorance in government eliminated. Gone. Evansville. Are you talking about Evansdale, Luminous? Iowa? Yeah, totally. But I don't think that they're connected. I think a lot of similarities, but I don't think that Delphi and Iowa is connected at all. You know, if you really think about it, like out there in Iowa, again, an unsolved case, same as Delphi, reward money, tip line, whoa, 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 but no arrests, you know? And if you're looking at that, John D. Miller, you know, there's a lot of cases that you can point to. And it would probably be, I mean, even in Indiana, and we're not a big state, you know, we're Midwest, but there's probably every bit of 3, 4, 5 cases that are unsolved that are like that. Not 2 girls exactly, but there's a lot of cases where little kids are abducted and, you know, found dead like months later. There's a lot of sick individuals out there. There really are. Yeah, you know what? I agree, JoJo, right there. I do. And anybody reading that, that's kind of my take on it. But, you know, Randy's a great guy, man. I like Randy. But anyway, there's all these cases out there. There's a lot of sick people out there waiting for an opportunity. Now, I don't think that we should throw cameras in hiking areas where people go to get away from people. I don't want Big Brother watching me, man. I mean, if I ever see a camera, if I go to a hiking area and I see a camera, I'm going to fucking destroy it. I'm going to throw it on the courthouse lawn with a note saying, fuck you. Don't watch me when I'm trying to get away from your all-seeing eye. That's me. BG might have changed appearance. Yeah. I don't know what he did. I mean, he didn't have long hair. He didn't have much of a goatee. I don't know what he would have done. Maybe he changed the fucking jacket, though. You know, well, I can't be seen walking around in these clothes no more, man. You're kind of a dead giveaway. Yeah, the FBI profile. Never seen that, JoJo. We was promised. FBI's releasing a profile. Never happened. Never happened. In Iowa, it did. They kind of nailed that guy down in Iowa. This is a high profile case. Man, we don't want people to know that. Fuck, man, they might go kill an innocent person. I don't know why they would not release that profile. Seemed kind of shitty to me. I do hope that CC is on the case, because if they're talking about familial DNA and new evidence, that very much could mean that. It definitely could. Fingers crossed. I want the guy caught alive, and bring him to me, Emperor King Cat of the Cumulus type. So anybody, anything, I could just sit here and talk, but just sitting here talking, yeah, it seems a little boring to me. Need somebody else to come in and talk for me. Yeah, yeah. So, what else? Oh, man, and then the chat box disappears. This is not my day for live. I would just want a good live day. A good live day. Waiting for the chat box. Hold tight. You know what? While we're killing time, let's take a vape. Let's hit that like button. Let's subscribe if you're not already. You know? Let's try that. Let's subscribe and hit that little bell for notifications about live. That's what we want. That's what I want. That's why I do the channels. I subscribe and I hit that notification. That way I can be on top of it as soon as they go live. Thank you, and thank you. Still ain't back yet. Still is not back yet. Come on, chat box. Work with me, man. Probably everybody and their brother is typing it right now, and I'm going to have to read it all, and then I'm going to have to waste more of your valuable time. All right, chat box may not be coming back. I was thinking about ending this at an hour, but you know what? We just got started with a decent amount of people. We'll take this on after the hour. If I get the chat box back, please. All right. Okay. I'm over the chat box. It's hurting me. All right. Well, aside of the chat box, it's Sunday. I keep up with the news I got online here, where I just get on. I can check the headlines, and if it's anything of interest, I'll read it. But for the most part, I normally don't. When I see Kavanaugh and all this hoopla surrounding him, my first thought is it's a play for our entertainment, so that they can express that the Democrats want this and that, and they won't cotton to that, because he don't want to get away. He don't want to do away with guns to the public. And like I've always said, if they want my gun, they can come and get it, and I'll die. I'll die. I'll die right there, because I'm not going down a fucking stupid slave. I will fight for common law and freedom. That's my word to the masses. If it is not about common law and freedom, fuck them. One of them will go with me. One will die. I don't know if the majority of people think that he's local. I know that I do. I certainly believe that he is local to the Delphi area. But that's because I do not know how he left. But I can side on the fact that he didn't have a car. So he had to walk where he was going. And we know he was heading toward Delphi and didn't go up the highway. Now, if he went down a county road, they would have seen him on that. If he went up the highway, he would have been spotted. If he headed across that bridge into Delphi, depending upon his route of travel, he could have made it into Delphi being unseen. And that says to me, very much local. Yeah, no, I'll definitely say he's off his rocker. Yeah, okay. There's a lot of talk on Facebook, and I'm going to tell you right now, Luminous, I'm pointing back here because when I edit this, right there is going to be a shit sandwich. Know that already. Shit fucking sandwich. If you get anything off of Facebook, it's going to be, he's a serial killer. Where's the evidence? No, I feel he's a serial killer. Yeah, I feel that. Yeah. I get this feeling right down in here. It says he's a serial killer. Yeah, well, you know what? If they take away guns from the public, everybody with guns will be the bad guy. Because when guns are illegal, only people that do illegal will have guns, you see. Hiding in a basement. You know what? I kind of doubt that. I kind of doubt that he's really hiding because nobody knows what he looks like. Let me point this out. We have 3 pictures of the guy, and nobody knows what he looks like. We have a sketch. Nobody knows who that sketch is. I do. It's Daniel Nations, because they purposely made that sketch look like Daniel Nations to take our attention off of them not solving the case and onto him, while they could just sit back and relax for about 6 months and then go, well, we'll know. Well, that's $1 million question. We'll get him one day. One day we will get him, though. Yeah, today might be your day and some might tomorrow, but one day, we're going to get you. Well, they better bring CC in to make that day happen because they're doing absolutely dick. It is scary. So what's the holdup, law enforcement? Talking to you, law enforcement. What in the fuck is the holdup? I'm sorry, Wolf. I know. I'm trying to keep this family friendly. My bad. Shouldn't say the F word. And I won't read the last comment either. It's got the S word in it. No, I did not go there. Yeah, it might have been something that I could have went and taped, but you know, it's the whole show of it. You know, like the right to life, the biker ride, the softball field, the this and the that and the other. It's a lot of attention drawing to the case, to people that already know about it, but it doesn't do shit for law enforcement. Law enforcement don't give a fuck. God, man, damn it, Wolf, I did it again. You know what? You're going to be cussing like a sailor before this hour is over. And for that, I apologize. I do not need a dirty-mouthed puppy. So, all right, man. We are nearing 6 o'clock Eastern time. Anybody on here? Anything? Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, the Abby and Libby thing yesterday was all about that. That's the publicity that they give right there. We're really sad that this happened in our community. Great! Now, here's what you do. You don't do this. No, what you do is you go to law enforcement and say, excuse me, what in the fuck is your problem? And why are you... No, I'm sorry again, Bear. And why are you not solving this? Do you not have enough evidence? The FBI couldn't lend a fucking hand to find this bastard? It's not about publicity. 35,000 tips. That's 10 times the population of Delphi. 10 times the population of Delphi. Because every little cocksmooch and their brother on Facebook had to go turn somebody in. Me and Greeno was 2 of them. Probably multiple times. They probably got sick of hearing our name because everybody out there with an IQ under 100, not you guys, are all a bunch of cock smooches that just turn in anybody they don't like. I think that a portion of that money, and I don't know the full amount, did go to the case. I don't know if it went to the families or the case. You know what? I don't know. I stopped looking at him a long time ago. I had already seen it. I mean, I got the old ones on my computer. There's no reason to go look at him. I don't know the guy. I don't know who it is. And if, well, you know what? Let's say that the suspect is from there in Delphi. Let's just throw that on the board for a minute. Everybody in Delphi has seen those 3 pictures. Everybody, everyone. If you live there, even if you're in an old folks home, you've seen those photos. Has anybody came forward and said, oh yeah, man, that guy lives right beside me? No. Everybody's seen that sketch. Oh, fuck, man. Now, how did I see that sketch? That guy lives right beside me. Nobody's doing that because we've only been given shit. And what happens when you give people shit? They go on Facebook and make a sandwich. Because that's what people do. People want that little entertainment value, and they don't give fuck else. People come up with concocted, outrageous theories that sound good, but don't fit the fucking evidence. The guy is not a fucking serial killer. I'll tell you that now. And anybody on Facebook that's got a problem with that, you tell them to come to my fucking live podcast and talk about it. I don't think that he was at Bacon Fest. Why? Because there was 2 fucking eyewitnesses right there that would have known him. That's why. Yeah, over. You know what? I'm going to say that the number of tips probably goes over 36,000 now. Over 36,000. They've went to 1,100 of them. They're doubling and tripling back on those. You see where I'm at? They got a lone investigator, one guy, shit sandwich, that's out there going through it. God bless him. I hope his fat, ugly, fucking lion ass gets him. But I doubt it. It will be CC Moore because this guy really is a piece of shit. All right. And that's, you know what? That's really about all I got. And I'm kind of sorry. Well, you know what? I didn't get my product placement in. Clover Valley Dr. Topper. When you reach for a soft drink, make it Dr. Topper. It's refreshing. Refreshing as all get out. All right. Anybody got anything to go out on? Throw me some comments. Throw me something. I'm needing. Okay. Well, with that, I'm out of here. Thank you, Tony. Thanks for being here, each and every one of you. And I will see you in my next video that I hope to make probably in the middle part of this week. I want to do a regular video and may hit you back live. Peace, y'all.